Hey guys, Kilo here. I am doing a build video. Can't speak. I'm doing a build video on how to make a urban marksman kit, which is basically the Army's tactical way of during urban operations as a long-range marksman. So here it goes. First I start off, basically the whole entire premise of the kit is the primary. That's what you make your build off of, what you want to do, unless you're focusing on your three main stats. Right now, I'm pretty balanced on health and DPS because I don't want to be, a walking piece of glass. Because if I get picked off from far away, where my strength lies in this kit, then I'm pretty much useless in a firefight. Basically, what I do is I start off at long range and I work my way down. Now, if I have to, I have an assault rifle or a submachine gun on hand. I keep one of each on me all the time, depending on what I'm doing. If I want to go into a lot of buildings, then I switch on the submachine gun and I go to work from there. The assault rifle pretty much helps me to... It pretty much helps me at that close distance, because this DMR is just... This class can be a monster if you're dealing with medium to long range targets, because it hits exactly like a machine gun would. They take a certain amount of rounds and they're staggered. So what I try and do is I try and work long range to short range as much as I possibly can with this kit. So the whole entire premise of an urban sniper is to stay far away but still be in close quarters at the same exact time. Now, knowing that, what you have to do to make this kit work is you have to know movement speed. Just ignore what skills I have out, ignore all of that. It's all about how you move with the kit. Basically, I'm by myself when I'm using this kit. I am alone, facing AI or rogues, and I have to do a lot of moving. Like, every time I make a kill, I move to a different, cover position. If I'm outnumbered, I'm pretty much falling back as much. I'm peeling. I'm basically rapidly peeling to get either the good long-range shot that I want to use, my highest damaging weapon, which happens to be my DMR for those headshots. But if I have to, when I peel back, I also have either that assault rifle or that submachine gun that I'm talking about, that I talked about earlier, just in case I have to deal with that close distance. Also, another thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get comfortable with using consumables, like really comfortable. If you want this to be a good solo kit for you, you can make it work, and that's what the whole entire premise of this video is about, guys, making it work. Another thing that I did on mine, just to give me a little bit of help since I'm by myself with this kit, is I put suppressors. I reduced the threat, basically on, well, I basically reduced the threat on my DMR. That's where I primarily put the suppressor on. I never go without a suppressor on a DMR form for this game, because my first shot needs to be the one, and maybe if that percentage roll for reduced threat comes into play, they won't even know where I'm coming from, and then I can pick another target from there, and then I can do my scale back process to work from long distance to short. Now, when it comes to secondaries is where I put most of my DPS power, and right now I have a lightweight M4. It's got 1x optic, which increases critical hit. It also has the remove status effect on kill, and it also has the that Badger perk, basically where my critical hit gets up the closer that they get. But also, what is so awesome when we get to my talent section is that this pistol right here, basically I have a good pistol that has a reasonable amount of DPS. I switch it out between my Damascus and my M45A1 because I like the stat rolls that I got for the M45A1. It's got sustained, which gives me 4% health on kill, and it's got, you know, the typical, you know, typical pistol that it kills, that a kill or on a kill it does 100% damage, you know, if target is less than 30%. When it comes to my skills, I normally go with the Seeker Mine with the air burst. That helps me deal with crowd control. And it also does high damage to the target, which minimizes armor. So the next skill that I got on there would be the Smart Cover. Now, why I go with the Smart Cover for the health bonus? That's why. When I'm in cover, basically I'm just sitting there anyway waiting for my target to appear, so I might as well heal myself up and give myself a damage boost while I'm at it. Now my top skill, or the L1R1 skill, is the defensive perk, because if I need to get out of somewhere, I just pop that and I run to my 6 and I try and make distance as much as possible. It's got that 80% damage debuff, so I'm pretty set there. When it comes to actual talents, I go with the Adrenaline, which uses a med kit and not at full health to receive an overheal. That helps me out a lot, because there are a lot of times when I'm in a pinch and I get below that last third of health. That's when this talent works, and it works pretty damn effectively. I also have the Explosive Plus, which is on the tech side. I also have the Medic Overheal down there in the very bottom left, and then that last perk, the Resupply, is for my pistol. So when you get a sidearm kill, you get 30 extra rounds to your primary. Why is that important? Because if you don't have high ammo capacity on your body armor or on any piece of gear that you have, you run out of Marksman ammo pretty quickly. So I use the Repo Reaper perk to give me that extra 30 rounds just in case I need it in a pinch. So what I do is I specifically look for targets. If they're below 30% health, I just whip out my pistol and I go for headshots, and it gets me ammo back.
Caution. Entering dark zone.
Now, with this kit, like I said, you guys, movement is going to be basically the whole entire premise of what you want to do when you're by yourself. When you're with a team, what you want to do is you want to deploy Smart Cover for yourself, stay toward the very back of the engagement, and just start picking off your targets from there. Your job basically at that point is to score headshots while everybody else is depleting armor. That is your job when you have a buddy. Your job is to take headshots down, and yours to stay into the back, and you're supposed to take up targets of opportunity. Now, another thing this kit is really good at is suppressing enemies. It keeps their head down a lot, especially with the AI. And against rogue, depending on what kind of build you're going up against, if they are a piece of glass, you will shatter them in a heartbeat with this thing, especially if you go for upper body and headshots. If they're a tad bit tanky and they're chasing after you, just peel backward, deploy that Smart Cover, put rounds into them so that while you're shooting you're getting help. And then if they get really close, just deploy that Seeker Mine. Give yourself some space, because that's what this kit's all about, giving yourself enough space to where you can be effective. And what you're about to see is how I use my pistol to give myself ammo back. As you can see, I'm down to my pistol right now because I got empty on my reloads. So I took advantage of this dude taking cover behind the car, headshot, 30 more Marksman ammo rounds. So then I just reload my assault rifle and I go from there. Now, how I approach heavies and bosses is kind of weird. I open up with the Seeker Mine first. Hopefully it stuns them enough to where I can get the time and I can acquire distance. If I can't, I just go straight to the assault rifle. I use grenades. I use anything that can give me a damage boost against these guys because I don't have the space that I need. So as you can see, opened up explosively, went straight for the heaviest hitting guy. Once I got him down, it was easy mopping up the rest. Now, when it comes down to it, taking on a named elite is one thing, but going up against an elite heavy is a completely different form of beast, because all heavies have weak points. So what you want to do with this thing is you want to gain as much ground as possible, take out those weak points first. If they get within distance, you just shower them with explosions. And that explosion is going to reinforce that explosive expert perk that I have, or talent that I have, which then ups your damage. So you're taking down armor, you're putting a shit ton of rounds into them, you've already hit them at their weak spot. Named enemies that are tanks can be easy if you just rinse and repeat this tactic. Go for distance, headshots, take down their armor, they get in close, use an explosive, a grenade or my Seeker Mine works. Now if you're in a really, really huge pinch, what you could do is you could deploy that defensive skill mod, basically your super power, and you could pretty much go from there. It pretty much gives you a way to get away at that point. Either that, or if you think you can take them on a 1v1 status, you know, just sit there with your defensive perk. It's got an 80% damage buff, so you'd pretty much be good against heavies unless they do status effects. Now that was an example of me trying to force the headshot in a close quarter situation. I do not recommend this for anybody who's a rookie trying to try this kit. Basically, you gotta stick to the basics out of that. I just did that in a pinch because basically it would have taken me more time to switch weapons and kill him than to try and angle up a headshot at that distance, so. Now, we all know that there's ever-changing weather in the Division. Basically, snowstorms can hinder your vision so much, which is another way that this kit can help you. This kit offers you the flexibility to be very precise, even when an enemy's having a hard time seeing you and you're having a hard time seeing them just shouldering your weapon. Because I can zoom down 12 by and I can just go to town. Sometimes it's a little unfair how much of an advantage I have in a snowstorm against some of these enemies. I hope I gave you enough tips to where you can maybe make this work for you. If you do have any other builds that you would like me to try, just leave them down in the comments below. I will try and make them possible. My next one's going to be a machine gun, definitely. But this is Kilo, guys. Deuces. I'll see you later.